Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to start off with thanking Aaron, Robert, parents, and also all of the other youth who have been brave enough to stand up and share a story. You know, when Claudio, in fact, I can tell the story how we met. There was actually an individual who lived in my legislative district. A gentleman had disabilities, and it was just standing in front of a store. And 3 students just came out of school, attacked this individual, taunted him first, and then attacked him for no reason. And thank God it was captured on a storefront camera, and it went viral. And you know, when you see things like that, I mean, first I didn't know the individual, but then I found out that his caretaker was somebody that I knew. Reached out to the family, had a conversation, and she talked about this gentleman named Dr. Cerullo, who was helping Robert out. And I'm like, Dr. Cerullo, I never heard of this guy. And so I think at that first time we actually had a policy hearing. No, it was a press conference. We had a press conference in the city of Philadelphia, and we brought out experts from across the city, individuals whose families been impacted. And Dr. Cerullo came, first time I met him, and the guy was so compassionate about working with families and individuals that it just sort of spread and oozed throughout the room. So after that, then we had a policy hearing where we brought down legislators from across all 67 counties of Pennsylvania. Dr. Cerullo took front and center again, and again the compassion just really came out. And after that, we took it to Harrisburg and had a rally, and the guy stole the show. And so for me, it was like, it's a no-brainer. I mean, when you hear stories that Doc shared, and you have individuals who stand up, who have the courage to stand up and talk about their own personal experience, it moves us. So with the help of Dr. Cerullo, Mrs. Cerullo, we were able to at least get out legislation. The legislation that I'm talking about is House Bill 2009, if you get a chance to look it up. But it talks about education, anti-bullying education being taught at every single grade level. And that's just the first step. A colleague of mine, Representative Burns, also has some legislation out that is holding parents accountable for the actions of their children. So we're working together, we're going to develop some more, and I just appreciate the work that Teach Anti-Bullying has done, because that's what inspired me. You know, I don't look at myself as a champion, I just simply look at myself as doing the work that we should be doing. And for some reason, somehow, some way, anti-bullying has sort of slipped through the cracks, but we're not going to let that happen anymore. So I want to say thank you to you, Dr. Cerullo, for keeping it in the forefront. I mean, you know, you send me a text every other day, so you know, it's like there's no way in the world that I will ever forget this. And I really just appreciate you and your wife and your whole family really for what you're doing, the advocacy that you're doing. And with that being said, what I'd like to do, folks, if you don't mind, if you bear with me, I'm going to call Doc to come up front with me again, because you know, it's an honor for me to recognize the work that you're doing. And so I just want to share a citation with you and everybody that's here with us today. Oh, you thought I couldn't see it? Because I got my glasses on? No, I can see it.
You can?
Yeah, I'm used to this.
Look at that.
Look at this. I can read it back like this. All right. All right, let me read this. This is what the citation looks like, folks. This is going to be presented to Dr. Cerullo. And I'll read a portion of it, if you don't mind. Okay, great. It reads, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania House of Representatives Outstanding Service Citation. Whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is always proud to recognize those individuals who through their wisdom and experience have contributed to the enrichment and betterment of succeeding generations. And whereas Dr. Claudio V. Cerullo began his career in education, teaching social science education. From here, his career has included positions as a K-8 school principal, director of early childhood education, assistant middle school academic vice principal. Oh, is there anything that you haven't done, man? I mean, this is like a whole storybook here. Yo, I don't want to talk about that. But we can, it's the Eagles. Yeah. Assistant high school vice principal, director of athletics, interim secretary, charter school principal, and high school principal. And whereas Dr. Cerullo earned his Bachelor's of Arts degree in Social Science Education at Moravian College, he earned his Master's degree in Professional Elementary and Secondary Education with a concentration in Education Administration. Basically, it's telling you that this guy got some documents behind him, so he knows what he's doing, folks, all right? I mean, I can go on and talk about him earning his Doctor of Philosophy. Wow. And Education Leadership from ACU. He has continued his professional development, focusing on education leadership and urban education from my alma mater, Westchester University. Go Doc. And whereas Dr. Cerullo in November of 2011, and this is important, that's when he launched the Teach Anti-Bullying Incorporated, 501c3 nonprofit. The organization is dedicated to working with educators and parents, student, law enforcement, and local government nationwide on the bullying crisis in the classroom and our communities. Can we give them a hand just for that, folks? In 2018, and we're still trying to battle this epidemic. So, you know, Doc, I just want to applaud you for taking the initiative to do that. And I just want to close out by saying, now therefore, the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania pays tribute to Dr. Claudio V. Cerullo for his sacrifice and outstanding service and commitment. Notes with appreciation that he has generously contributed to the well-being and quality of life of others, and offers best wishes for continued health and happiness. Dr. Claudio.
I knew about it, he didn't.
And listen, folks, I mean, this is only a document, it's a piece of paper. It's really recognizing the great work that the organization and Dr. Cerullo is doing. But, you know, Doc and I were just having a conversation about how do we really lift this thing off. And let me just tell you my suggestion. My suggestion was start an honorary committee and get elected officials involved. You know, we all run for office, and you hear on TV how we raise money. Let us raise money to help the organization. You know, I mentioned PICO, I mentioned some of the unions. I mean, these are folks that back us. Why can't we in turn have them back you and the organization and in essence help these people here? So I'm committed to doing that. So next year when we have this fundraiser again, I'm going to pledge not only my money, but I'm also going to pledge to bring on supporters to help, because, you know, we have a pandemic that, folks, if we don't do something, if we don't get behind folks like Dr. Cerullo and Teach Anti-Bullying organizations, it's going to go on. And you know, this is not a Republican, this is not a Democrat issue, it's a people issue. It's not just Philadelphia, it's nationwide. And so I'm just happy to stand with you here today, because for me, it starts right here, right now. You've been doing this since 2011, but let's take this even farther, Doc. So, okay, congratulations.